We'll take some time. We'll wait for another 5 minutes and then we will start because we're expecting few more students to join in. Hello, Navneet. Hello, Sohit. Welcome, guys.
Hi, ma'am. Good evening. How are
Good
you?
evening, ma'am.
Good evening. I think, should we wait for a few minutes? Or should we start?
Just 2 more minutes, ma'am.
Sure.
Welcome.
Guys, we're just waiting for a few more students to join in and we will start. The whole idea today is to give you a full insight on GRE, what are the requirements. We've got a couple of students with us who would be able to share their experiences and how to really crack and what's important. So that's the agenda of the day. Hello, Moksh. Hi, Jeshta. Thank you for joining in.
Yep. Hello, thank you for having us here.
Ma'am.
Yeah. So I think, Sohit, we should start.
Yes, ma'am. I believe yes.
Yeah. Hi, guys. First of all, welcome to SIEC's GRE talk show. We wanted to have this event just to help you understand everything about, GRE, what are the important aspects to it for you to understand it in depth. And we've got two very important experts with us today who actually would help you with all the details and questions that you have. And we've got two of our students. Thank you, Jeshta and Moksh, for being here. And I am sure students will be able to ask you questions. And if there's anything, your inputs would really help. So just to introduce Sohit first. So Sohit is our, our quants trainer. He's been in the industry for 7+ years, Sohit. Yes, now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes.
And would you quickly introduce yourself to everyone, please?
Definitely, ma'am. So I had been to this teaching scenario from last 7 years, and I had been there. There were many achievements of mine, but the most recent achievement was I secured 95 percentile in CAT. So, which I believe that makes me worthy enough for this maths training and the quant training, particularly in GRE, GMAT, and SAT.
Yeah, I think
so this is my brief introduction.
That gives a lot of confidence because you really, kind of scored the best.
Yeah, I know the trade. I know this trade, how it works, right? And even my students are there with me, so they will also going to certify this.
I am sure. And Navneet is with us today. So Navneet is our country manager US, and we all know that how important GRE is for US applicants. So Navneet, if you can give your quick brief introduction, please.
Hi, everyone. This is Navneet Kaur. So I've got, how should I introduce myself? So basically, I am handling US division in SIC. So it's been approximately more than 5 years now that I've been recruiting students for US universities. And I've got a background of Ivy League institutions and some other institutions as well. So I know the maybe formula, how to crack Ivy League, and as well, what are the admission requirements and how a student can get into the university of his or her own choice.
Yes, they both are being very modest. I've seen them going into a lot of detail and the kind of work that they put in and the effort that they put in for each student. Trust me, that's what makes me really confident that they are the right people to help you out with your US admissions or your GRE, cracking of GRE, specifically the quant section. So before we kind of delve into GRE more, Navneet, how important is a good GRE score for US admissions? if you can help us understand that first.
So GRE is an aptitude test that everyone know. So GRE is actually a very important test to maybe present the set of skills you have in front of the institution. So it's not just a test, maybe having a score and you kind of quantifying it with numbers that, you have got this much score in GRE. It is also about what your overall, it's kind of showcase you as a student, that what your aptitude is, what are your good points when it comes to, your profile. So it's very important for a student who is particularly looking at some specific universities for specific courses to have a GRE test. Yeah. You are on mute.
Ma'am, you are on mute, ma'am.
Wow, that's what happens most of the time. So, while we're in the conversation, I'm sure we'll keep asking you more questions on this, Navneet. Sohit, before we get on to how to crack it, and I'm sure Moksha and Jeshta are also there who would be happy to answer a lot of questions. But what is GRE and how is, what does it include and what is the pattern? Please help us understand that first.
Yes, ma'am. It would be the best to that since this talk is majorly about the GRE exam. So first we will introduce what this exactly GRE exam is. So majorly I will start with this is a graduate record examination. It is generally used to showcase your skills, particularly to get into the masters in university abroad. Right? It is only an online test. Make a note of this. There is no offline test at all, no paper-based test, and it is a total 340 marks test. Okay, so scores are ranging from 260 to 340. So, if somebody asks you what is the quality score in your GRE test, anything beyond 320 is, as a teacher, as a faculty, I can suggest that every student should aim for at least 320 plus. Universities are available from 310 as well. We can give more light over here. But I believe that as a student, as an aspirant, I believe that you should target 320 plus out of 340. Then the doors of all the universities will open for you. Majorly, you will be tested in 3 sections. First is your analytical writing assessment. Second is your quant section. And the third is your verbal section. And these sections are sectional adaptive. Now, what I mean by sectional adaptive, that let's suppose you had done exceptionally well in the first section. So the next section will be slightly, adapting itself according to the potential and according to the level of the student. So if you have done well in the previous section, the upcoming section will be slightly difficult, and vice versa situation. So you have to ensure that you get yourself in some quality section. Why? Because it will give your percentile a boost. So it is a simple theory that the more difficult questions you are solving, more you can say that more higher percentile you will be in, more higher bracket you will be in. So this is the small summary or a gist of this GRE exams.
Okay. And Navneet, what so like Sohit said, 320 plus is a good score. So for Ivy Leagues, because a lot of students who look at Ivy Leagues, what is a good score for Ivy Leagues? What is a score which is comfortable enough for US universities, be it the range of universities that you're looking at?
Right. So for Ivy League, like Sohit said, 320 is what the student should look at if he really wants to get into an Ivy League institution. Obviously, although having a 320 score it's not just going to suffice that you will be cracking an Ivy League. So you can crack an Ivy League even at 317 or 318. So it is not really the exact case here. So and for because your overall profile matters, like we all emphasize as counselors, as US counselors, that it is your overall profile which matters for Ivy League institutions, or maybe almost all the institutions in the US, not just the academic requirements or maybe the typical admission requirements they have. Talking about a range of score, like a tentative score which the student should look at. So anything above 305 or maybe in between 305 to 310 is going to help you crack most of the institutions. And if in case you have scored even 300 or maybe between 300 to 305, you will be able to crack a couple of institutions. Yeah. So anything above 300 is a good to go to. Yeah.
Okay, got it. So Moksh, can I ask you one question now? Am I audible to you?
Sure. Yeah, you're audible, sure.
So, Moksh, can you introduce yourself first quickly? I think you've
Um,
been to State
yeah,
University of New York at Buffalo. Am I right?
yeah.
Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you very much. It's all because of SIC. Exact. To be precise, the two teachers who taught me for the GRE exam. So before I start, I'll give a quick introduction. My name is Moksh Mehta, and my GRE score is 310. I studied, I tutored from SIC, and recently I applied in different colleges for my master's in aerospace program, and I got an admit from University of New York, Buffalo, which is actually a very good institute for my course. And yep, regarding the question, like
So basically, I wanted to know what steps did you follow to one, reach the score that you were looking at and then get into the university? So what steps did you follow?
currently I'm in my last year of engineering, mechanical engineering. And when I was in my second year, people already around me started preparing for the GRE exam. I thought it was too early for the students in the second year since they didn't have enough exposure regarding different colleges and different courses. So I started a little late for preparing. I guess in my seventh semester I started preparing,
Right.
and yeah, so I went around different institutes. I asked different professors as to how I go about the GRE preparation, and luckily I landed at SIEC, and I like studied from you guys and I got a good score. So I guess the key point for the GRE exam should be perseverance, according to me, because it is not an easy exam to crack, and there are many barriers which Indians, as students from Indian origin, come across. Not only in the quant section, but in the verbal and analytical section as well.
Okay.
So I guess you just have to practice and work hard continuously, and that's the best route I guess you can take to crack the exam.
Okay. So you think, since you were from a technical background, an engineering background, you think for
Yeah.
verbal section also that is what helped, like practicing and
Yeah.
your
So apart from practicing, I guess since my exposure to English as a language is from school, right? And
right.
that is something which we have built up while. So I realized while I was preparing for the verbal exam, there were a few tough questions which I came across. But since I've gone through so many English, textures and English movies, I guess that is what should help in vocab from from childhood, which has helped me. There's this gut feeling which I get while answering the questions, and that is because of my persistence in the English textures and my exposures. I guess because of that would have helped me. But apart from that, the study material as well, and the different words and everything, vocab basically, which I had to go through. There was a tons of vocab words which I still don't remember enough. But yeah, I guess that is what helped me in my journey.
Right. So the content that is taught, in the classes at SIEC, that was pretty intense, I think, right? And
Yeah, that was pretty intense. Yeah, that it was a lot of technical words for vocab. There was a lot of practice as well, because I remember I gave a lot of tests not only from the SIC portal but from the original ETS website, and then I had the different books also. I guess the Manhattan exam and everything, which was given by SIC. And yeah, there was rigorous practice, because of which I guess that was a key contribution to my journey, I guess.
how many hours did you had your class in a day?
In a day it lasted around 1 to 1.5 hours, and
Okay.
it was alternate every day. One day was quant, the next was verbal.
Mm.
And apart from that, I personally studied for half an hour every day, since I had a lot of things on my plate, because I'm not only in college right now, but I'm doing two different internships as well. So it was quite hectic for me, but somehow with time management, I was able to get through it.
So about 2.5 hours a day.
Yeah, 2.5 hours.
Minimum. So the discipline should be that, right?
Yeah, the discipline should be there.
So Jeshta, what about you? What's your discipline? How many hours are you putting in? How is it going for you?
Actually, I am also right now in my final year of my bachelor's degree. So it is really quite tough to take out time for like different from the classes also. So I had like 1.5 or 2 hours of class alternate day, as you said, and then after that I made sure I at least practice an hour, like normally an hour, but in the end, like in the last week of my preparation, I made sure at least I'm just preparing just the GRE, like keeping aside the college work and all.
Okay. So how did you crack your quant? Because you're not from a technical background or a mathematics background, right?
Yeah, but
And it always
I
scares people off, specifically if you're not from non-maths background.
yes,
How did
I did my maths, like I had PCM till 12th, and then I kind of switched it to architecture. It has maths, but not the technical field or the all the quadratic equations and all the basic maths. So yes, it was quite tough after 5 years of leaving maths. I was very nervous, and I remember talking to Sohit sir, and he was like, "No, no, you'll do it. Just have to practice, and you have just to be consistent." And then yes, I seriously scored like better than verbal in quants. I was really scared for the quant section, and I think that was the best part for my GRE.
Okay. Was it really tough in terms of the, what you're taught, whatever is, kind of syllabus I would talk about? Was it really tough, or was it like it's there? It's just that practice and
No, I don't think so. It was tough.
Right.
When I started it was I thought it is very tough, but it is a general mathematics. We are doing like from the 10th and 12th. It's just that you have to like understand the question, what the gesture of the question is, what the question is trying to ask from you. It's not that lengthy or something. You don't have to make sure that you have to solve a long question or a 2 or 3 pages solution to get the answer. But yes, you have to think elementary. Like you have to think with the mind, and then I think with the tricks and some solutions I remembered which were taught to me, so it was easy. I will not say it was tough.
So it wasn't tough, but that's where the practice and
Yes.
experience of the trainer comes in.
Yes.
Because they're able to give you that kind of layout and help you with the tricks and feedback.
Like they give you like because we are given like 1.5 minute maximum for a question. So yes, it was tough in the start. Then I remembered all these small tricks for the small solution. Then it was made easy, I think.
Okay. So here there's a question for you, that any primary prerequisite students should have before preparing for GRE exam, before they enroll in or anything of that sort.
Ma'am, as a, if you are from the right education background, which generally, all those who are targeting foreign study are, right? So if you are, having the right education background till 12th or till graduation, I believe that you have all your bases covered. It's not like that you need to come forward with some supernatural knowledge to crack this GR exam. No, not like that, right? You have to ensure that your fundamentals are very sound and your basics are done. And then you find that it is just the same way the duck found the water. You are also going to find the GR exam like as a aspirant. So you don't need to too much worried about that. I need to solve calculus question or advanced series or something very very fundamental very advanced level of mathematics. No, it is a majorly in a summary wise we can suggest that it is a majorly a 10th level mathematics. All you need is a ability to solve the questions in 3 to 4 steps. So there are few tricks that we as a trainer, we as a faculty give to our students so that they develop this skill inside them in a due course of the time by practicing and by being into that scenario, that situation. So it's definitely not tough, but yes, it is a tricky. And I find that Indian students do well in a maths, and particularly they find it a bit difficult to cope up in the verbal. Why? Because there is an advanced level of the vocab is there. And as Mok suggested that if you are into the Hollywood movies or watching the the periodicals or reading the journals, advanced level of the those who are presenting advanced vocab, then you are almost more or less nearby to the GRE exam preparation.
So what do you think is the ideal time for a student to start preparing for GRE? And I think it's valid for 5 years. Am I correct?
Right, man. So
what
majorly, if you are targeting, yeah, I got your point, ma'am. So majorly, if you are targeting, the just after your graduation, you want something in abroad study or a universities you are looking forward for. So I believe that the ideal time should be your third year or end of the third year, because US admission process also starts a year ahead. So you have to ensure that, make sure that you have your GRE score available to you, and for that you need to start at least at the 2.5. If you are in a 4-year degree, then start with a 2.5 or third year around, so that in due course of the 6 months you can get used to the training and everything, and then you can apply for the almost round about the end of the third year you can give the GR exams.
Okay, I think that's ideal, because in
The
even
ideal scenario, right.
correct. So Navneet, a quick question for you, that for fall 2022 intake is almost closing, right? So, or is it still, there are options, a lot of options available, students can apply for admissions, and if they still give GRE, is there a possibility? How is it?
Well, I would say that if they give GRE now, it may not benefit them for getting an admit, or maybe because of the deadlines have already passed. But then yes, GRE is not just it's not going to just benefit them for the admit, but rather the internships as well, and the CPT, what we call it in US. So if in case the student has maybe has got admitted already without a GRE and is now planning to take up a GRE, or maybe not taken a GRE and not even got the admission from any university, go without GRE right now, because, or maybe defer your plans if there are specific institutions you're looking at. Otherwise, if you've got an admit, go for a GRE, get benefited because to get a CPT, or I think I just got confused. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. So there are options
there are options, yes.
So in case they haven't given it, probably the admits are already been done for fall 22, people who were planning for GRE, but if not
Right.
given, because I think there are a lot of universities which are kind of open still, and they can give you admit without GRE score.
Without GRE, yes. Without GRE, it is still open. There are universities you can go for. But if you're planning to go for a GRE and target a good institution or maybe a top ranked institution, then I'm afraid that you've missed the chance for fall 2022. You'll have to defer it to January, spring 2023, or maybe fall 23 for that matter.
How US goes, if someone is targeting spring 23 or fall 23, actually the process again starts now, and they should be looking at doing GRE now. Am I right?
Absolutely correct.
Correct. Okay. Got the point. So, Sohit, I have a question from you that, how do you have, so because I want to understand, how does SIEC helps in GRE preparation? In the sense, I've listened to Jeshta, I've listened to Moksh, but what are the key aspects that you implement or apply which actually helps students to crack the scores they're looking forward to score?
Yes, ma'am. So I would like to share a few thoughts here, that we at SIEC have a fixed set of the templates, right? And in that fixed set of the templates, we follow the core books in the class only. So if the Manhattan is the best book for the GRE, we ensure that we follow that book, so that you are preparing those type of the question which are about to come in the examination. So more or less we are making sure that you are leaving the examination right from the day go, right? So this is the something we ensure that we are solving the questions of that expertise only. So it's not like that we are solving questions something different and exam is presented in front of you in something different. No, not like that. First is this, and we ensure that the students, those who join with us and those go forward for the weekdays classes. So we ensure that one class is for the verbal, another class is for the quant. There are some scenarios that people give you 5 classes of the quant, and then they give you 5 classes of the verbal. So this makes that the possibility of getting things a bit delayed in more there is a possibility of getting things delayed a bit. Why? Because once you are done with your quant and then you start focusing on the verbal. So we ensure that both things goes parallel, rather than giving a quanta of the knowledge one go, right? This is the second thing. We follow the alternate pattern. The third thing is that we ensure that the short tricks that are important to crack the GR exams. So we ensure the highlights between how the conventional process works and how much time it is going to take, and then the same trick is going to give you and save you how much time. So at the same time you are realizing that okay, these are the methods which are to follow in order to crack this examination. There are bookish method which can give you the solution, but these methods will not give you the result. So we ensure that a student change their mindset from the conventional bookish pattern to trick-based approach. And this is the the main template of our at SIEC. We ensure that we use 1,000+ tricks to cater our students and make sure that they get they get built up in their maths ability particularly.
Okay, got the point. That sounds good. So Moksha and Jeshta, did that pattern help, that one, quant verbal, quant verbal? Do you think that made a difference of it going simultaneously?
I guess it definitely had an impact on the schedule as well, because it is said that a particular student while studying cannot focus on one particular subject for more than half an hour, which is the same case for us as well. If we had gone with 5 consecutive lectures of quants and then verbal, the efficiency of studying would not be that great. But since it was alternate for us, I guess it helped us a lot to grasp all the concepts from both the topics at a normal minimal speed.
Okay. And do you both recommend any books in particular for GRE preparation, like Sohit was mentioning? Was there anything particular that helped you both?
I think for
I
the
guess
vocabulary, the books given by the Mangush and the live vocabulary, the flashcards given to us, it really helped for the verbal sections, because with the word we had the meaning and then we had to like memorize it, and not for once, like it was sectionized, like easy words, then some hard words, then the most hard words. So I think it helped us. First of all, we go level wise.
Right. Right.
yeah.
That helps. So, Sohit, I have a question for you, because we're talking about what happens in the class and how it is going. What are the necessary things that a student should do before exams and on the exam day? Is there a particular thing that you guide through that as
Yeah,
well?
one thing is a very fixed template, that have a very quality sleep before the night of the exam. I had students who those who make sure that they message me even at 11 p.m. Just before the night of the exam and asking me the doubts, right? And I suggest them that go forward and just have a sleep. You had done everything and your marks are already there. So please don't worry about now, and make sure that have a very sound and quality sleep. So this is the primary thing I suggest. And even from my experience, I have that. Even I had tried to give some examination by having an entire night study, and I find that it is not working, right? And so have a quality sleep. One thing for very sure. Carry make sure that you carry a identity proof. Majorly, it is a passport in India. So it is expected that you should carry a passport for first. Second thing. Third is that you should make sure that you should locate your center. So there is a possibility that you find that you start with and you don't know that where actually the center, then the traffic and all. So make sure that you locate your center a bit a day before, right? And generally I recommend this to all my students. And fourth thing is that you have to make sure that on the exam day everything will be given to you at the center. So it's not like that you need to carry a calculator or you need to carry something. They will give you enough in an exam hall only. So you don't need to get with some additional sort of the water bottle or something like that. You have to make sure that just go single-mindedly, focus with the exam preparation. Nothing different from that. So my important point to add is that have a quality sleep before the night. So then only your aptitude brain will work.
So you make sure that before that particular night, you grind them like anything. They study hard and you really push them. And then last day you leave them alone, right?
Agree. I make sure that the preparation should be tuned in that direction only. That on the last day, you just be casual, have some light music, have a quality sleep and something like that. Then only, if you are planning your preparation in this fashion, then only you are going to the quality score. Otherwise, that sense of the puzzleness or some sense of the haphazardness will be in your exam as well.
Yeah.
So I recommend this to all my students.
Yeah, easy said than done. Ask the people who
give
the test. Okay. So, tell me, Sohit, that when are the classes run? In the sense that at SIEC, are we doing online, offline classes both? What are the timings? What is comfortable? Do we even have weekend classes? How is it? Please let everyone know, whoever is interested, so that they know whether they can join in or not.
Agree. So the point is that right now, due to the the onset of the COVID and all, we primarily working on a online mode only. And the best point of the online mode is that there is no, you can say, the geographical barrier. That you can say the Jesta is from Delhi, Moksha is from Mumbai. So we don't have that geographical barrier, and we are almost scattering all over the India, right? So this is the best thing that the online prospect had bought in front of us. Right. So first thing is this.
Right.
So yes, we are right now going with online classes on a regular basis. Yes, we do have the weekend and the weekdays classes as well. We ensure that all those college goers go forward for the weekdays classes, and all those who are into the office or into the some work, they go forward for the weekend classes, right?
Okay.
But yes, slowly we are rolling our offline or classroom classes also. We are planning to roll our offline classes as well and classroom setup as well. But right now we are going very rigorously and very in a very huge you can say in a setup of the online setup only.
Right.
We're
And I
trying
think
to expand more.
Yeah, and I think it gives you flexibility of hours as well when you can
Correct.
do it, and it's easy that
And
way,
it
right?
saves your time as well, coming to the center and then going to the center and working. Yes, initially people find it digital world a bit not very that much conducive and not that much comfortable, but slowly they get adaptable to it and they enjoy this process, sitting at a comfort of their home and then reading according to their wishes. And they can even connect to me at 11 p.m. as well if they wish. They can connect to me, have some doubt session done. They can message me the doubts and I can give them on the doubts and give them some sort of inputs as well. So I find it slowly students also find it very good. So I believe that this model is going to exist with COVID subsiding and COVID is about to end. So I believe that the parallel, the offline and the classroom setup will go.
That's true. That's true. Absolutely. I think COVID has taught us a lot. So
Correct, ma'am.
apply that.
In some positive sense as well and negative sense as well.
True. So while I'm asking you more questions, Priyadarshini, Sohini, Sunil, and others who've joined in, if you have any questions, please start putting in your questions in the chat box, and we can ask, Sohit, Navneet, Moksh, and Jayashti any questions that you have. So please add your questions in the chat box, whatever you have. Right now, Moksh, how has been your experience with the US admission process with SIEC, and what steps have been taken? You've got your admits.
I would say the process was a little hectic for me because so the first step for me was to procure all the materials, which not only includes the LORs and the SOPs, but the internship certificates. And basically, you have to portray your entire educational journey and your exposure and your background, and you have to place it in front of them like they are the judges and you are the criminal. And yeah, so the procurement of materials was very important, difficult for me. The second was to actually make sure that all the deadlines are being followed, because different institutes in different states, different colleges have different deadlines. Some ended in December, some ended in January, some I was not able to apply because I gave my exam a little late, which again was an error on my part. But again, no hard fast, nothing, no damage done as of now.
Right.
And I guess the third thing is money, because the money is so since we are paying in US dollars, it's quite expensive, because each applicant costs around 120, 125 US dollars. Then you need to send your scores also, which are $20 each for an institute. And if they not only ask the GRE, but the English proficiency exam also. So that's the double the cost. So yeah, there were these different parameters, different variables which I had to go through while applying. But yeah, I guess most of the steps were done, and now I'm clear about it. Yep.
Okay. And Jayashri, what about you? Anything in particular that you want to share about your admission process, things to take care of? Anything in particular?
I would want to put the fact that if you are planning on going directly after your graduation, without a gap year or something, that it is quite hectic, because along with my degree, I have been doing from the past 7 to 8 months, I'm rigorously doing each and everything. First, I gave my IELTS, and then I prepared my LORs from my teachers. Then I did my SOP, and then just after that, I took my GRE. Yes, of course, as you said, GRE. These proficiency exams should be given before, because they have validity of 2 to 5 years each. So they should be given the first and put aside, because after when you start your application process and all, it's very hectic to keep the track of each and every university, when are the deadlines going, and when what all are the documents, because as of my field, I require a portfolio to be made. So yes, sometimes the university have to ask your perfectly like I want in this dimension for the portfolio. So it is quite hectic. So as and obviously the money part, because if you're planning on going to US, you have already like stepped into something which is quite higher. So money is a quite a big thing to have a hold on, I guess.
True, I agree. Navneet, since we are talking about US admissions as of now, um, my first question is that how what are the steps, what should the students start preparing with, when should they start preparing with, and what are the key documents which you generally feel that students make mistakes on, or there's something that they should take care of? Your inputs on that.
Right. So the process is, I think, somewhere around 9 steps. I mean, total of 9 steps are involved in the process, the whole process from applying to the visa, right? Um, Actually, before that, maybe hiring a counselor, or maybe starting to research about the institutions. So first of all, the one thing is for sure, and the student should take care when they are thinking about you applying to the US universities, that they have to start 1 year prior. This is something which they have to keep in mind, because if you start late, obviously you miss on the deadlines. You may not end up into the institutions of your choice, because there are prerequisites which we have to take care of. So the requisites which should be completed 1 year prior is, like Cheshta said, the proficiency test, the English proficiency test, and the standardized test like GRE or GMAT, whatever is required for your master's applications. So that should be sorted, so that at least you will, and because that has to be sorted, because that is going to give you an idea that what kind of institution you should target, right? So I may be targeting a very maybe a top-notch institution, but my GRE score turns out to be a little lesser, so I'll have to compensate or customize my shortlist, or maybe the universities I am looking at accordingly. So this is one thing to get a clarity as well, so that should be there. And the requirements, other requirements, you have to keep in mind, and they're very, very crucial. Other than the just academic requirements, is that what kind of LORs you are looking at, what kind of references you are able to gather, and also the SOP. It's not just the a paragraph about yourself, or maybe why this university or why this course. It is kind of you communicating to the university directly, making them understand by that particular, maybe by those, 100,000 words, or maybe 1,500 words. So the SOP and the LORs, along with the other admission requirements, are very, very important in the application. And that the student, see, what I think is that the students, Indian students specifically, they do not have a habit of writing, essay writing, or maybe this SOP writing specifically, maybe writing about themselves. So this is also something they should start very early. So say, for example, to go for, to take a reference, or maybe to start with how to prepare for an essay, or maybe a personal statement. So possibly the students can refer to essayhell.com. That's a website they can refer to prepare their different statements, because it's not just the statement of purpose or the personal statement this is asked for. It can be also a diversity statement, maybe sometimes your personal history statement. So in that case, you have to write a lot about yourself. So if you have a habit of writing, only then you will be able to communicate yourself. Obviously there are professional editors you can hire, but your story can be told majorly by you. The professional editor is just going to maybe give a structure to it, or maybe just refine the language. Your story is your story, so it is better that you start preparing on that as well, along with the other things which are the admission requirements.
So does SIEC helps in in all this process? Because sometimes students do need direction in terms of how to think through what steps to
Yes.
follow, how do you write everything, so do we go into that detailed process to help a student create that?
Yes, absolutely. So we've got customized questionnaires for students to, help them maybe frame an essay, because that is the first step. Sometimes the student just do not know where to start and how to start maybe writing about himself or maybe that, university. So that's SIC. At SIC we have got a questionnaire, set of questionnaire that actually kind of gives them a perspective that what questions you have to answer, or maybe how you have to frame that particular paragraph about yourself. So this is how we help. And obviously we have got professional editors with us, who work closely with the students to maybe obviously, help them frame that particular draft of the essay, and as well get to that particular demand of the university, what the university is actually demanding, understand the student's profile, and then give them a guidance that, okay, this is how you can frame your essay. Once the students give that draft, a raw draft to us, obviously we refine it by by our creative writing.
Got
Yes.
it. And at SIC, we are AIRC certified, right? How
Yes.
does this help in terms of the kind of institutions that we represent and the kind of help that we are able to provide to our students, specifically being that certified consultants in US education?
Right. So having a certification obviously helps, because that is kind of our credibility that we are certified to recruit students for in US universities. So when we are referring a student to our set of institutions, obviously the student is given a kind of extra we can definitely emphasize the students that this university can help you in getting more scholarships, or maybe if admits, obviously, and as well the CPTs, curricular practical trainings as well. So that is where we can push the universities and even the students, right? So this is how we help, and this is what our credibility is.
Perfect. So, guys, are there any questions that you have for the people who are here today to help you? And if there's any, please ask now, because
And
yes.
And I think Jeshta has missed that she's got an admit from UMass Amherst. So she should mention that.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Jeshta. Even
She's
I don't
yet
know
to
that.
get admissions from other
Thank you so much.
institutions where we have applied. Possibly, almost all the institutions will be giving us an admit. But the first institution she's got an admit is UMass Amherst. So I think.
Yeah, I got the offer like quite like in the January, I guess, in the third week of the January. So yes, I was really happy because that is the first university I was aiming at. But so far I'm just aiming at like more of for University of Illinois Chicago. I think it also gives me an good architecture course. So for now, yes, I am really happy to go if I have an opportunity to go.
And we
to
are working
US.
on these scholarships right now,
Yes,
so that she can get scholarships, and possibly that will make her, journey more easy to select the institution and see how she goes about it.
But yes, if for now, just say I'm waiting for more and more replies. This time is the most anxious time for a person who's already applied, because this is just the waiting time. You're waiting for the offers, and you can't do anything. You just have to wait. And I think we don't talk about this time, that it's very very curious time and very anxious. I as a person don't check mails, and I right now check my mailbox like 4 times or 5 times a day, and it's really like I just expect something has come up, some mail has come up. So yes, it's a very anxious time. I usually talk to Navneet ma'am or my other Rupali ma'am. I call her like I'm really worried. What's happening? When will I get the offer? So they're really helping like from the start. So yes, it's a nice experience working with them, and it really helped me out like on a genuine basis.
We will help you.
Congratulations, and congratulations both of you. So Hit and Navneet, it makes me very happy to see, how as a unit you guys are really helping US students achieve their aim, because I think both these segments are so important, and have to work so cohesively together so that the students are able to achieve what they want to achieve. So good job, guys. You really make me happy about that. So Sohit, Navneet, any last words from you? And first from you, and then Jeshta and Moksh, anything from you? And then we'll probably wind up the session.
Yeah, so I would just like to maybe pitch in here that we will be obviously GRE. I think Sohit is the best, in town, at least, when you're looking at mathematics specifically. And I really want to have, some classes of mathematics because it's very bad. And I did try to, take up GRE when I was studying and wanting to go to some good institution for my master's, though I completed it from India only. But then, yes, quants actually scares me. So, but yes, so it makes it very easy for, I mean, the way he teaches, because I have attended some of his classes. So he flows like, so easily that you don't feel that, okay, it is quants and it is difficult. So I think that's the best part of maybe having Sohit as a trainer, if your quants trainer.
Right.
So, and then and if any students who are watching this, targeting fall 2022, I would just like to pitch in that the universities are still open, taking applications. And if you are late, not taken GRE, maybe, then also you can apply. And if you're planning to take up GRE, go without GRE, but then yes, go for a GRE, because that is like I said, it is going to help you in your overall CV building. So just take GRE, start with your admissions, and that'll we can work on it together if you are targeting fall 2022. Yeah.
Perfect. So Hit, any last words from you?
Yeah, I'm just, I want to communicate to all those students who are listening to this, is just, if you are preparing for your GRE exams, particularly in the third year or fourth year, so that means that, you are holistically preparing yourself for all the challenges which are, about to come, beyond your graduation. That is, you are going to be preparing on the quant, you are going to preparing on the verbal section, you are going to prepare on essay writing. So these are the primary requirements which are required once you either you are in a master's or you are in some employment. So you are going to be challenged in this setup. So it is the best time to invest yourself in a GRE preparation, because ultimately if you are preparing for the GRE exams, you are collectively preparing for all the aptitude tests, whether it is in India or it is across other part of the world. So more or less, it is a nice opportunity to invest yourself in a GRE preparation. Why? Because it will help you in countering all those challenges which are going to come beyond your graduation part. So this is the last line I want to communicate to all the listeners.
Yes, guys, Jeshta and Moksh, thank you so much. Anything in particular that you'd want to say as of now?
To all the participants basically who are watching, so this is something which I'm going to share from my personal experience. There are a lot of my friends as well who are applying for masters from different university for different courses and different states. But there are a few friends who are still confused whether to actually go and apply for masters or to stay back over here, or exactly how to go about it. So what I want to say is that if at all you're going to go for masters somewhere in the future, maybe now, I would encourage you guys to go for it. Don't think about anything else. Of course, there'll be many challenges, there'll be many problems, not only regarding financial problems, but academics as well, which you will stumble across in your journey. But it's like once you go through them, it's a breeze for you. So if at all, if anyone is watching this, if you are in two minds whether to go abroad for your studies or not, I would encourage you to go there, because it's an entire world out there. The exposure over there compared to our country is completely different. And just take it as an experience once you clear out all the challenges. And I guess all the best for the future.
I think if you're planning, so first of all, the first step is like to plan, like to plan of action should be there with you. So first of all, to start a year prior, obviously, and then after that also, when you step inside it, you will actually know the challenges what he's talking about. When I first thought of going abroad, I was like, okay, I'll start and I'll come to a point and I'll go study abroad. But when I stepped into it, like step by step, I'm getting each and every challenge day by day to complete it, to overcome it, like for the academics or for the proficiency test or for my application process, or be it the deadlines or keeping the track of the deadlines, or choosing your university. Yes, it's a very hectic process to choose your own university. Once you are done with your choice of course, what you want to do, then you have to choose a university, in which I made a list, and then I talked to Navneet ma'am, and then she told me that okay, Jesha, go into this is a nice university, or maybe you can look into this new university. It will also help for your course. So I think that also requires a month, nearly a month, to have the take out the, you won't apply to 20 universities or 25 universities. Obviously, it will have an impact on your financial expense and all. So you have to, filter out and then come to, I applied to 9 universities, and I was having a list of 16 to 18 universities when I started. So that filtration was a long process. So I think that was a personal experience, what I want to share.
Right. Perfect. So that gives an idea to everyone. And quickly, Navneet, so Sohini has a question that for PhD as well, does GRE helps?
Yes, absolutely. It helps. And the kind of background you are having, Sohini, it is definitely going to help because, and since you mentioned or maybe asked this question that having a master's abroad will be helpful or not for you. See, biotechnology, US is actually a hub of everything. So be it IT, be it business, be it, even life sciences, for life sciences, specifically biotechnology. And you should typically look into East Coast universities so that, because that has got the maximum research centers for your specific domain. So I would encourage you to go for a master's or maybe PhD. If you have already got a research paper, you've got some research papers published and some journals you're already working on, then you can directly approach the institutions right after your bachelor's as well for your PhD program. Okay. And so this is one. And if you feel that your profile is right now not that great or maybe not up to the mark to qualify for a doctorate, then you can go for masters, build up your profile, and then go for PhD. GRE is definitely going to help you. Like I said in the beginning of this session only, that it is an aptitude test. So like you mentioned in your CV, the qualities you have, the personality traits you have. So when you have something to showcase as an evidence that you have this particular aptitude and you've got a great GRE score to showcase it, it makes a difference. Not only just on your admit, but otherwise as well. So I would encourage you to take up GRE and go for your master's, specifically the program you are in for abroad and specifically US.
Thank you, Navneet. Sohini, I hope that answers your question. So guys, this is it from us today. And we, we want that any one of you who's looking at GRE preparation or US admission process, please feel free to get in touch with us at www.siecindia.com. We've got, people who can counsel you offline, online, timings as per your convenience and help you out through the entire process. So Jeshta, Moksh, thank you so much for joining in. Sohit, Navneet, thank you for all the guidance that you've given today. And I request everyone to get in touch with us in case you have any questions and you want to take your process forward. All the best, guys. Sorry, Sohini has one last doubt. Sohini, you can quickly ask because we're just winding up. Sohini, are you writing? Or you can unmute yourself as well and ask. Yes, Sohini, I think you've unmuted yourself. What do you want to ask?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can mediocre background students can apply for GRE, like as ma'am mentioned that US universities are expensive for while applying, and also like we can get good amount of scholarships or before applying?
I have a very good example here to give you, Sohini. Just yesterday, we've got an admit for Stevens Institute of Technology. The student was having 55% overall. And Stevens fee, overall fee is $60,000. And he's got a scholarship of, the dean's scholarship of $20,000. Just with 55%, because his GRE score was 317. So it's actually, you asked a very, very right question at the right time, that why GRE is helpful and how GRE can be helpful. Otherwise, Stevens Institute of Technology can be out of your reach. $60,000 is a huge cost, okay, for any student. So when the student has just cut it down to maybe $40,000 for 2-year program, $20,000 for 1-year program, right? And obviously that is an overall scholarship he's got. What kind of assistantships he'll be getting in the second semester or from maybe the second year onwards, that is separate. So in any case, that is what is the impact of having a GRE or maybe having a good GRE score. So that is why we emphasize that the student should have a GRE, and even a mediocre profile can be eligible to get scholarships or maybe get an admit from the institution, which otherwise would not be possible. Yeah.
Wonderful, Navneet. This is something that we wanted to know. So thanks, Sohini, for asking your question. And thank you, guys. Now everyone knows that you have to take classes from Sohit if you want that score. And if you get that score, then Navneet will help you get all the scholarships. So hopefully, let's see you in the office or online. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good weekend. Take care. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks,
Bye,
thanks
everyone.
everyone.
Thank you very much.